Hello Amusement Park Portal. Thanks for tuning into our video. We're going to look at what we think Cedar Point's next major coaster is going to be. But before we begin, I ask that you please hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom. It really does help us out and we really do appreciate it. Alright, when you think Cedar Point, you think roller coasters. And Cedar Point has one of the most diverse collections of roller coasters of any park out there today. Every few seasons, Cedar Point likes to add a new roller coaster. For example, this year, 2025, the park introduced Siren's Curse, America's first tilt coaster. So that brings us to the next question. What does Cedar Point have up their sleeves coaster-wise next? Well, we have a few ideas and we're going to share them with you right here. But first, I want to hear what you think they're going to get next. Go ahead and put that down in the comments down below. Alright, let's start with where we think the new coaster will go. Well, as many of you know, Snake River Falls and Frontier Fling were removed last year, leaving a fairly decent sized chunk of land for future expansion. And that's not to mention the island, which is located right next to where Snake River Falls and Frontier Fling used to call home. One option the park could go with is B&M's Surf Coaster. However, this ranks pretty low on our list of potential coasters, as it really just doesn't fit in with this area of the park, and there's only one other surf coaster out there at SeaWorld Orlando currently. So while anything is possible, I just don't think a surf coaster would be a very good fit at Cedar Point. Another option a park could go with is these RMC Raptor single rail coasters. They've become quite popular recently. After riding a few of these single rail coasters, I gotta admit they are a lot of fun. However, they have one major downfall. And that major downfall is capacity. RMC Raptor coasters are a little different than a normal coaster. They have single seating opposed to other coasters that have either 2 or 4 across seating. And that really limits the capacity the ride can handle per hour. And because of that, I just don't think that an RMC Raptor coaster would be a good fit for a park like Cedar Point. Another option would be a Vekoma Thrill Glider coaster, which is rumored to be the next coaster installed at Magic Mountain. Albeit this would be a long shot, as I don't think there are any of these coasters built anywhere else in the world, and Cedar Point typically doesn't go with prototype coasters. One of my favorite choices for a new coaster at Cedar Point would be something similar to Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City. Now this coaster is just a lot of fun and gets a lot of praise from enthusiasts. This would fit in perfectly with the Frontier Town and Frontier Trail theming, as they could theme it to just about anything. My only concern with this type of ride, again, would be the capacity issue. Although not quite as big of a problem as an RMC Raptor coaster would be, for a park like Cedar Point, Time Traveler may be an issue as far as capacity goes. One of the more popular choices among coaster enthusiasts would be a traditional large-scale wooden roller coaster. Now currently the park only has one traditional wooden coaster, being the classic Blue Streak. Now Blue Streak has remained the park's only traditional wooden coaster since 2016 after Mean Streak closed to be renovated into Steel Vengeance. Now the only problem I can see with a wooden coaster is they are costly to maintain. And well, given the current status of Cedar Fair, or Six Flags, I keep saying Cedar Fair, parks currently, I'm not sure if the park wants to spend money to maintain a large-scale wooden coaster. In addition to that, how popular are they with the general public? Most wooden coasters, not all, have a bad reputation for being rough and unenjoyable to most people. And unfortunately, the trend of corporate parks is once a roller coaster or wooden roller coaster gets past a certain age, it typically, well, starts to go downhill, no pun intended. As the ride experience, well, it just becomes unenjoyable and rough. Now personally, as a coaster enthusiast, I would love to see a wooden coaster, or a modern wooden coaster, added to the park. However, I just don't see it in the next couple of years. In the future, yes, but not next. The park's next option for a new coaster would be one, well, I am just surprised they haven't built one yet at the park, is a B&M flying coaster. Several companies have tried their hand at building flying coasters, but B&M has perfected it. Every park I've been to that has a flying coaster, these things seem to be very popular as they do have lengthy lines. I don't know if that's due in part to the popularity of the ride or if it's a capacity thing, but either way they are fan favorites. A custom layout B&M flying coaster would be an awesome choice for the park. They could theme it to like a flying machine or something along those lines, and it would fit in really well with the Frontier theme in the back of the park. As fun as flying coasters are, I still don't think that's what they're going to build next. Alright, so that brings us to what we think Cedar Point is planning on building next. But before we let the cat out of the bag, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button once again, it really does help us out. With the recent removal of Snake River Falls, that left the park with only one water ride, and that being Thunder Canyon. And being that this is one of the hottest summers we've had in a while, Thunder Canyon has been getting some pretty lengthy long lines. One of the major issues with Thunder Canyon is its age. It was built back in the 80s, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be around that much longer, and that's going to leave the park without a water ride. So that brings us to what we think the park is building next, and that's going to be a mock coaster, like a water coaster. Something similar to Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld Orlando. Now this ride has it all. It's a roller coaster, it's a dark ride, and it's a water ride, kind of all in one. So not would this only take care of the water ride problem, it's a new coaster, and people have been dying for a new dark ride at Cedar Point for ages. This would fill that void. And another positive aspect of this type of ride would be, well, you're not going to get absolutely soaked. Where 3 hours later you're still wringing your clothes out. No, this is appropriate amount of wetness. You get a good splash. You're not going to get absolutely soaked. And the cool thing with these, the custom layout, they can adjust the amount of wetness. And a ride like this would fit in perfectly in that plot of land currently back on the Frontier Trail in Frontier Town, where Snake River Falls and Frontier Fling used to call home. And Mack, or is it Mack? I always get it mixed up, I hear it pronounced both ways, has been producing a new version of this ride lately. So what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with what we think the next coaster will be for Cedar Point? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, we'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you out on the Midway real soon.